Hi everybody, in this video I want to cover how to use the assignment editor in Artusi as an instructor. So after you've created a course, you'll probably see something like this if you cloned your course based on an existing Artusi curriculum or from one of your pre-existing courses. You'll see assignments laid out in a table format like this. To edit an assignment, you can either click the title or you can click this little pencil icon here. This will take you to the assignment editor for this particular assignment. This is where you can customize the assignment title. You can leave a note for your fellow instructors. You can apply a custom number for this assignment and a suffix if you'd like. So for example, you could number this assignment 21A or 21B. You can also just leave it to Artusi to automatically number your assignments for you. And you can do that from your course settings page here. If you check this box here, Artusi will just automatically number your assignments based on their order in your course. If you want more fine-grained control over assignment numbering in your course, though, just leave this box unchecked. This area of the assignment editor is for managing assignment access. So when students can see the assignment, whether they get instant feedback, that sort of thing. Artusi comes with a number of different assignment types. And each of these assignment types, or many of them, are associated with different default settings. So for example, if we were to make this a quiz, then student feedback would be turned off by default. We have instructor documentation that goes into greater detail on each of these different types of assignments. This is where you can manage the availability of this assignment, such as when it's available to students. You can set this to a date in the future, for example. You can also add a due date to the assignment. Now, when you customize this area, this form, new options will change or appear based on the settings that you configure. So for example, if I wanted to turn off feedback so students do not get immediate feedback, you'll notice that new options will suddenly appear dynamically. So now that students do not get immediate feedback, I can configure when feedback is released. So for example, by default, the feedback will be released on the due date when the assignment closes. But I could set this to some date after the due date if I'd like to withhold feedback a little bit longer. Feedback, by the way, includes both the feedback messages that students get, like, oh, you wrote parallel fifths here or whatever, but also the grades that students see. With this feedback setting turned off, you can also configure the deadline strictness. So for example, you could configure this assignment so that students can keep working even after the deadline. They'll just see a little message that says, hey, this assignment has closed, but you can continue working. You can also configure when students are able to submit the assignment. So if you'd like, students can just submit the assignment whenever they're done and get their feedback as soon as they submit it. Or you can configure your assignment so that students can't submit early and they only see feedback after the deadline or after the feedback release date that you've set here. You can also impose a time limit on your assignment down here. So for example, this could be an assignment or quiz where students get 10 minutes to complete the assignment from the moment they open it. You can do that from this area as well. I would encourage you to just play around with these settings to configure your assignment or quiz or lesson to be just how you want it to be. There are quite a few different permutations of these settings, so just try it out. And we also have instructor documentation that goes into greater detail on each of these settings as well. Okay, moving on. So this is where you can write custom instructions for your students. And this is a rich text editor, so you can include links, you can upload images, you can include sound files, and because this is Artusi, this assignment or this instruction text editor lets you add music-specific things as well, such as scale degrees. You can add time signatures, pretty much anything you want. You can also add custom musical examples. We will do a deeper dive on this rich text editor in a separate video because there's just so much you can do with this editor. It's very powerful. So this is the master toggle switch that controls whether or not students can see the assignment. If we turn this off, then the assignment will be set to draft, which means it's totally invisible to students. This is an area where you can preview the assignment. I'll get to this in just a second. So because this course that I created is cloned from an existing Artusi curriculum, the exercises in this assignment, which are laid out right here, are set to read only by default. This means that I can't edit them. And these exercises will receive automatic updates from Artusi authors based on latest advances in musical intelligence. So if you'd like to actually customize these exercises, you can select this button down here. And now these exercises are fully customizable. So these are all the exercises that come with this assignment. You can customize the order of these exercises if you'd like. You can also customize the hierarchy of these exercises. You'll notice that they're indented based on their hierarchy in the assignment. You can configure all of that, by the way, from the exercise editor, which we'll get to in just a moment. You can also clone exercises with this button. You can remove exercises that don't fit your curriculum. The sky's basically the limit. You can also do a quick preview of what the exercise looks like with this little eye icon here. You can even try out the questions in this preview. Okay, so these are all of the exercises that come with this assignment. You can preview the assignment as a whole by clicking this button here. This just gives you a chance, and these are the dumb instructions I just created. Don't mind that. This gives you a chance to just see what the assignment looks like from the student perspective. You can try out anything in Artusi that you'd like. And if it looks good to you, you can go ahead and publish your assignment. Okay, let's go one level deeper into Artusi now and take a look at the exercise editor in Artusi. So again, we're in an assignment editor here for a particular assignment. We can go one level deeper and look at an editor for an exercise. And you can do that by clicking this arrow button right here. So here we can customize an exercise in Artusi. Just like with the assignment editor, you can customize the exercise title, leave a little note for your instructors, add exercise-specific instructions right here. And there are many other options. The options that you'll see in the exercise editor depend on the exercise that you're editing. So for example, this is a chord progressions exercise. You can see the questions of the exercise previewed down here. I can customize the number of questions that will appear in this exercise. Now, by default, what Artusi does is it takes all of the settings that you've configured in your exercise editor and then generates a random number of questions based on the number you've put here. And you can see those questions in a preview at the bottom of the page here. You can try out any of these questions if you'd like. With this particular chord progressions exercise, you can customize the key signatures that these progressions appear in, whether or not these progressions will appear in a keyboard style as opposed to an SATB style. And you can also write out the progressions here. You can write whatever custom progression comes to mind. You can also select from the Artusi library of existing progressions. And our progressions are one of the secret sauces of Artusi. So you can write pretty much any chord progression that comes to mind, progressions that include pivot chords or enharmonic reinterpretation, chromatic medians, whatever comes to mind, you can basically write it here. Again, we'll probably release a video that gives you a deeper dive on progressions in Artusi because this is one of those areas of the site where it's just, there are so many options at your disposal. Many different exercises also give you the option of more advanced configuration for the exercise. So because this is an advanced exercise in Artusi, chord progressions, you have a lot of advanced exercises at your disposal here. And I won't go into the details here, but this is the kind of thing where if you're a theory nerd, I'm assuming you are watching this, you can kind of geek out and customize this exercise to your heart's content. All right, so that was an exercise editor within an assignment editor. And one other thing I should mention is that you can add exercises to this assignment too, if you'd like, and you can do that from this area. You can either import exercises from one of your existing assignments, or you can import any exercise from any Artusi curriculum, which is very powerful. For example, I could step into our newly released Artusi 2 textbook, import assignments or exercises from that, or any of our other textbooks or workbooks here. The other option is to create an exercise from scratch, and you can do that with one of these buttons here. So I can click this button to display all of the available exercise types that I can add to this assignment. And I can click here to go to different topic areas. So for example, maybe in this exercise, I want to add a melody exercise and an exercise where students have to fix the wrong notes in a melody. So I can click this. With this particular exercise type, you have a set of templates that you can select from if you'd like. These come pre-configured with different options. Or you can just create the exercise from scratch. I'll select this option. And now this is taking me to an exercise editor where I can customize the exercise. At this point, I've added the exercise to my existing assignment, and now I'm just customizing it here. Again, just like before, you can preview what the questions will look like down here. You can try them out and configure the settings here. So if I go back to the assignment editor, having just added this exercise to the assignment, you'll see the new exercise down here. I can just really quick update the title if I'd like, and that will reflect here. I could also drag and drop this up here if I'd like. Okay, that was a high-level overview of the assignment editor and the exercise editor in Artusi. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you enjoy using Artusi. Thank you.